What is good, YouTube fam? It is your girl TK, and how you doing? I hope you guys are having a really good day, and if not, well, I hope your day gets a little bit brighter, period. Well, look, today I decided that I wanted to get online and speak to you guys because let's face it, I haven't done a story in time in like 10, 15, 20 years or something like that. I know I'm over exaggerating, but you know it's been a minute since I've been online, so I want to do a story time. So I've decided I'm gonna just name this story time Code Orange. Code Orange. It's gonna be Code Orange or something like that, okay? Or Code Orange check-in. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you guys aren't aware, I work for the Department of Veteran Affairs, and I was fired from the Department of Veteran Affairs because they were alleging that I wasn't safeguarding information, but it was a whole bunch of bull crap because basically they would tie me around information because somebody whistleblow, and they attached me to that case as if it was me. But that's neither here nor there. Today, we're going to discuss what a code orange is. Now, if you haven't been in the military, or if you're not around family members and etc., you probably don't know what a code orange is, and that's okay because I'm going to break it down to you. A code orange is basically when a patient is basically having a mental health breakdown and they need some type of social services service to help them. So they're either missing, that's what the code orange is for, they need to be checked in, or they're checking themselves in. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what that deal. But basically when it's a code orange check-in, they're looking for your ass, okay? Your ass in mission. Well, anyhow, also, although I'm telling this story and I'm telling my story, I want you to know, if you ever find yourself and you're having any issues with your mental health, I want you to always know, especially for my veterans out there, that there is a 1-800 number that I'm going to attach here for any social services needs, especially for mental health, and because it's serious. Now, on my hand, in my situation, I kind of like, you know, it's really serious, but I kind of joke about it because I'm like, what the fudge? You know what I'm saying? So anyhow, let's get into the story. So, as I was saying to you guys, I work for the Department of Veteran Affairs, and once they attached me to the whistleblowing case, a lot of shit started to happen to me. I mean, a lot of stuff, including me being physically attacked. Now, once I was physically attacked, I had to make a complaint. You know what I'm saying? This bitch hit me. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to stay alive, you don't hit them back, or you try not to because you don't want to, you know what I'm saying, catch a case. Nobody want cases because they're going to somehow attach that case to you. Okay? That's numero uno. You know, trying to stay alive in the whistleblowing game. Anyhow, so once I made the complaint that I was hit by some documents, it was now time to have a fact finding. Now, a fact finding is basically an investigation that happens, and they're trying to find out what was the truth, who was involved, and who should be the person, you know what I'm saying, in trouble for the incidents involved, basically. Anyhow, or not in trouble, I don't know. Anyhow, so they decided they want to do a fact finding, but instead of them using the administrative workers inside the department, they decided that they wanted to use social services, social workers on my black ass. Yes, they had me sit with a psychologist, a nurse, and then they also had a social worker who came in and did the fact finding on me. So when I said they had me sit with a psychologist and nurse, so they moved me out of my department for a couple days and had me sit in a different area, but instead of me sitting in a different area within my department, they had me sitting with a psychologist. Now, I had an advantage because I worked in social work already. And usually when you're sitting with a psychologist or nurse and then you speak with a social worker, even if it's for 5 minutes, that's called a multidisciplinary assessment. So in a way, they were like kind of like hiding that they were trying to complete some type of assessment on my, they thought, crazy ass. But Let's fast forward this story. Now, once they had me sitting with the psychologist and the nurse and everything was cool on my end, it was now time to do a fact finding. They didn't just do the fact finding immediately. They took a couple days before they did it. So it took maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before they got to the point that it was like, okay, it's now time to do the fact finding. He asked me like really brief questions. What happened? How did we get to the point that, you know what I'm saying, we're at the fact-finding stage, and how were you hit? What made you think that this person wanted to attack you? You know, those type of questions he was asking me. Keep in mind, this fact-finding only happened for maybe no more than 30 minutes to an hour, and I didn't see that person again. By the time the fact-finding report was completed, he was basically calling me disoriented. Now, this is a social worker. Do y'all hear me? I'm in my car. I don't know if y'all can really see me well, but this was a social worker calling an employee disoriented. Disoriented. So basically what I'm trying to get you guys to see is that this social worker was trying to diagnose me after I made a claim that I was being physically hit with documents. Yes, he was diagnosing your girl. Like, that was so illegal, guys. Yeah, so luckily, again, I worked in social work. I understood what he was doing. I understood what the psychologist was doing. And everything that they were doing to me was illegal. I didn't sign any documentation to say, hey, I want you to evaluate me. The only thing that they were supposed to be evaluating was whether I was hit. And I do have documentation where that person actually said they hit me with the document. But I'm not going to share that right now. What the problem that I'm having was how they illegally violated my Hippa rights. And that sucks. Anyhow, back to what we were discussing. You're supposed to be basically telling a story of what happened, but you're telling them that I was disoriented? Bruh. Because it was a man, social worker. First of all, you only see me for 30 minutes. Second of all, you're calling me disoriented. Do you know how that made me look? Or maybe it didn't make me look real bad because, you know, I basically checked their ass afterwards. Like, you're basically writing something down about me that you're not supposed. You wasn't my social worker. I am not a patient. I'm an employee. So how are you kind of trying to counsel me and put down some type of note about me? It was everything that they did was so illegal. But guess what them judges said? Although that they did a multidisciplinary assessment on me, it's legal. Guess what they did though? They were violating HIPAA. HIPAA, yes ma'am, yes sir. HIPAA was being violated on my black ass when they had a psychologist, a nurse, and a social worker come in and complete a multidisciplinary assessment on me. So, Code Orange, check in. But make sure if you're checking in as a Code Orange, you're understanding, number one, okay, that this is serious. And although there are some really, really, really good social workers and psychologists and nurses out there, it's some really, really, really bad ones also. And these ones right here, they were bad. Especially that social worker that went in and basically put in my file that I was disoriented, which I will definitely be attaching so you guys can see. And basically had me checking as a Code Orange. I'm an employee, not a patient. Shit was really real, and they were trying to cover their ass, but they were making so many mistakes. So this is for anyone who's going through it, especially within the VA. They will try you. These judges will deny you, even though they know that everything that has happened is illegal. Okay? My rights were being violated. Not only were they talking about patient information, I wasn't the patient. Now my HIPAA rights were being violated, you know? I didn't sign anything that gave them the right to, you know what I'm saying, come in and check my mental and see what was wrong with me. I didn't sign anything, and thank God I worked in social work for a brief time, because I wouldn't have known better. But they do things like that. So take care of you, and hopefully you don't become a code orange by mistake. Don't check in, especially if you don't have to. Well, anyhow, this was my little story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace, love, and happiness. I'm out washing clothes, so I kind of look a little, you know, exhausted. I had some big sheets that needed to be washed during the holidays. I've been home because, you know, I had my surgery. So this is just basically a part of my surgery vlog or whatever. The realness. This is the tea, the realness of me. Well, anyhow, peace, love, and happiness. Again, I hope you enjoyed my story time, and I will be talking to you guys later. Bye.